while we get ready for our first event of the week, we could do a little fun get to know you section because, hi, if you're new here, welcome, which most of you are new here because I haven't really been vlogging that long. So first of all, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm putting on a little green, red correct. Like this also has SPF in it, which I like because I have rosacea on my cheeks. So a little bit about me. I am a 30-year-old actor, singer, dancer, content creator. I host a lot of master classes. I own a theater and brand coaching business called Problem Solved by Jenna. I'm an auditioning actor in New York City. I am part of the union, so I am part of Actors Equity. My ultimate dream is to perform on Broadway. If you follow me on any other platform, you can see my hashtag Jenna for Broadway journey that I'm on. I have always been the black sheep of my family. I'm the only one who does anything creative or artistic in any way, shape, or form. I've always had a very supportive family, and I'm very thankful for that. I started singing when I was like 3 years old, which I know sounds crazy, but apparently when I was younger, I would go up to my mom and be like, how do you sing? How do you hit that note? How does that song go? How do you breathe? How do you do this? And she said it was so annoying that she got me a voice coach. And that is really when my love for singing really blossomed. So yeah, it's been a very long time. My first ever production, I did Cinderella. I played the herald, hear ye, hear ye. And I kind of was hooked after that. Don't get me wrong, I did do other things, like I swim on the swim team in the summer. I played soccer for a few years. I think I played for 2 years, and out of the 2 years, you want to guess how many goals I made? I'll wait. If you guessed 1, you are correct. Granted, I did play defense, but it was always, I'll go to soccer practice after my voice lesson. I'll go to the swim team meet after my dance classes. The creative side of me always came first, and it just always has my entire life. So I grew up doing theater, and then I went to a performing arts high school in Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from, but all the way eastern Pennsylvania, like on the border of New Jersey. I lived like 5 minutes from the border. And I was a vocal major in high school. If you've ever seen the movie Fame, that was exactly like my high school experience. Dancers running around in tutus, people painting murals in the hallway, jam sessions with musicians at lunchtime. Truly a Fame experience. So after high school, I got my BFA in musical theater from Outerbound University, which is right outside Columbus, Ohio. So senior year at Outerbound, your last semester is actually doing an internship. So I interned at Tara Rubin Casting, which meant I moved to New York in December of 2026. And I interned at Tara Rubin for 8 weeks, 10 weeks. It was so long ago now, I don't even remember. And then after that, I graduated with my BFA. But what was great about the internship was I was already in the city. I already had a sublet. Like I was fully already moved in while the rest of the new graduates from that year from other, theater schools were just then starting to come in. So I felt like I had a little bit of a leg up there. When I first moved to the city, I did the normal day jobs. I was catering with 2 companies. I was temping. I worked for an online stylist. Basically, I shopped for other people. And of course, I nannied. So I actually had 5 day jobs in the city, and I also was doing Problem Solved by Jenna, but more as like a side hustle for fun, yes, but it also was a part of my income stream. And then in March of 2018, I took the business full time, Problem Solved by Jenna. I made it an official business, and I had a super fun launch party. We had vendors from other creative entrepreneurs. So like we had a headshot photographer who was also an actor, a published author who was also an actor. We had a girl who makes jewelry who is also an actor. I really wanted the focus to be on creative entrepreneurs who also did acting. It was quite the to-do, and honestly, I'm so proud of it. I also branded everything with Problem Solved logos. It was very Jenna coded. So from the time I graduated college up until the panorama, the pandemic sandwich, whatever you want to call it, I was working my day jobs. I was leaving the city in and out for gigs for regional theaters, but I mostly was just doing my day jobs, auditioning, doing the non-union actor grind. And then the pandemic happened. I moved back to PA because we found out that the apartment that my 2 friends and I had signed a lease for had bed bugs. Yeah. So in the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, we found out our apartment had bed bugs, the pandemic happened, and I lost all 5 of my day jobs, and I lost 2 theater contracts because the shows got canceled. Yeah. It was a rough beginning of the pandemic for me. Like, talk about having to do a 180 and pivot because like my life depended on it because everything that I had built was gone. It was gone. Poof, gone. When I actually have time, I quite enjoy doing my makeup, but right now, like, I'm just like staring at the clock looking, how much time do I have to get ready? So while I was home in PA, I started freelancing, doing social media management, mostly focusing on arts-based small businesses. So I did a lot of like Broadway merchandise, small businesses mostly. And I worked really, really hard for not a lot of money. When the pandemic happened, as you probably know, everyone spent all their time on their phone and being online. So small businesses were having to shift, and the focus was really on social media, which is why a lot of businesses were hiring social media managers. So I did that, and I actually worked my way up to making a full-time salary. Granted, I was working my patootie off, but I did get to a point, I would say about 8-ish months into working, I got to a point where I actually was working less and making more than I did with my 5-day jobs, which isn't that the ultimate goal of working? It is for me, at least. That's for sure. That's all I want in a day job. I want to work less and get paid more. So then I used Problem Solved by Jenna and my social media management business as my income streams for 2.5 years full time until I got my first acting job back. And I was super, super nervous about combining my performing life again with my quote unquote day jobs, which I don't know if I like that term because I full on own 2 businesses. So let's just put that out there. It was a seamless transition, adding performing back into my life. So that was such a relief to know that I could really do both and pursue both streams of income. Fast forward to December of 2023, I decided it was time to join the union. Also, let me know if you guys want like a story time on why I decided to join the union, how I did it, all those kind of questions. I'd be happy to do that. So it actually took me 9 months till I booked my first job as a union actor. I played Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray. at the White Plains Performing Arts Center. I thought it was such a full circle moment to play Tracy Turnblad as my first equity show, because it is a role that I truly love doing. I've also done it 2 times before, so this was my 3rd time doing it. And it was such a privilege. It was the best way to welcome me into the union. And since then, I've just been auditioning professionally in New York. I still have my 2 businesses, but now I've also added on content creation. I also teach a lot of master classes around social media, how to monetize yourself, mindset of an actor, things like that. Tonight, we are going to see a show on the Broadway. We are seeing Hell's Kitchen, which I'm so excited about because I have never seen the show before. I love Alicia Keys' music, so I'm pumped. Christopher Jackson, which if you didn't know, he was in the original cast of Hamilton, is back on the Broadway. And tonight we are seeing him in Hell's Kitchen. I am so excited. So, cue the montage to the theater.